right, so with this one, we want simplest radical form. Now, this is when you change forms comes in really, really happy. I would say happy, but good idea. When you are doing this, shouldn't we apply our exponents just like before? Can we do the power property? So I got 9 to the 5 halves, and I got x to the 5 halves. Now, let's rewrite that as with radicals. But think about the easiest way of doing that. This is going to be a square root. Would you guys agree? So can I rewrite that as the square root of 9 being raised to what power? 5th. You're not going to want to do that, though, with the variables. Instead, with the variable, you're going to rewrite it like this. The square root of x to the what? Remember how you can put it underneath as well? So notice I'm using both ways of writing it to my advantage. So when we do this one, what is the square root of 9? And we're raising that to what power? 3 power. But now I need you to go back to simplifying radicals like you know how to do. If I'm going to take the square root of x to the 5th, that becomes the square root of x to the 4th times the square root of x, correct? So I'm going to leave this 3 to the 5th for a moment, and we're going to get back to it. What's the square root of x to the 4th? X what? Squared. And don't we just bring the root x along? All right, so the only thing you have to do is now is figure out what 3 to the 5th is. Okay, so 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Times 3 is 81. Times 3, 243. I know it's scary that I actually have that memorized, but I do. That is in simplest radical form. No what? No, I mean, you can have an exponent, but you're going to have the radical, because we can have exponents with radicals, right? But, like, you have to simplify it out. Should we try one more?
Sure.
Let's try another one. Let's take, and I'm going to leave it in a weird number. Let's do 10 times, that one's not bad. Thank you for your phone. All right, no problem. Let's go 10 x cubed to, oh yeah, I like this one, 4/3 power. This one's mean. This is what this one is. This one's mean. Okay. Now, if we do this, are we going to do like what we normally do? Are we going to use our power property? So we got here 10 to the what? 4/3 times x. If this is x3. Okay. So we got 10 to the 4/3 times x to the 12/3. Guys, does that simplify?
Yeah.
That's x to the what? 4/1, which is x to the 4th. Oh, look, no radical with my x. Nice. Then we have 10 to the 4/3. Yuck. But let's use what we know and see if anything's going to help us out on this one. This is when you have to be flexible how you approach this. Friends, what? Why can't we what?
Why couldn't we do 10 to the 4th cube, or square root cube?
There's no square root cubes.
Well, yeah, but like...
No, we are. We're not done yet.
Okay.
We are. So when we do this one, my friends, do we have the cubic root of 10 to the what? 4th. Now, you could go ahead and go 10 to the 4th. But people, can we use exponents to our advantage? Just like we did with when we were working with variables, can't I rewrite this as 10 cubed, so the cubic root of 10 cubed, times the cubic root of 10 times x to the 4th. So are we changing what we're doing? We're just doing our split about what we can take the cubic root of or not. And guys, what's the cubic root of 10 cubed? Times the cubic root of 10, and that's all being multiplied by x to the 4th. Now, the fancy way of normally writing this is you normally go like this. 10 times x to the 4th times the cubic of 10. They normally put the cubic root at the end when you're working with it. All right, think you guys could do those? So this is going back to when you just simplified by roots before. But you're going to have to work with the nastiest part of it with fractions. So let's do it with the maze, okay? So I'll tell you, it will take you across the paper just a little bit if you're working with it. But remember, it has to be in simplest what? Radical form. So, and they're going to make it so that it's not going to be perfect, and you can fall into the trap and go the wrong direction, just like before. So, like when you're working with this on your partner and with your partner, see if I go back here. Just like before, I would probably have like the margins, or I'd have another piece of paper that shows the work. So I have that extra paper again like before, so don't go back. But like on the very first one, how do I rewrite that in simplest radical form? So square root of x. So which way are we going? And then you do the 27x raised to the... All right, are you seeing where we go with this? It's like the same idea as before. If you want to, shade in, if it makes it prettier or whatever, that's great. I have a few people without partners. So Alex, why don't you move up with Jack? Jacob and Alex, you guys just want to work together? All right, guys, I'll be walking around to help. Sound like a plan? But make sure you have your work shown. Make sure you help with each other. Don't forget rules.
Yeah.